Salut YouTube, c'est la Chaerlibrairie. On joue à Horace, tome H de la Chaerlibrairie, c'est super. Nouvelle partie. Oui. Oh, c'est mystérieux. Horace. Initialisation. Oh. Ok, donne-moi mon chapeau. Ah, je suis le 1. Peut-être pas moi en fait. Là, il ouvre les yeux. Bziou. Voilà. Ok. Ah. Bonjour. Ah, au revoir. Tchoum. Tchoum encore. Oh là là. Vraiment, les zooms sur des trucs en pixels, c'est fait pas l'effet que vous voulez. Hein. Je vous assure que... Bonjour. Oh là. Oh, j'avance. Ah, regarde en haut. Là-bas. Bonjour. Je suis Horace, le robot. Bonjour.
And so, I was born. The first people I remember seeing were the old man, the old lady, and their daughter, Heather. After they'd said hello, the
Ah.
old man powered me down so he could install some software. I could tell they were nice people. The old man didn't give me a silly voice or stupid personality. And the old lady didn't dress me like a clown. Although for some reason, Heather really didn't like me. Once I'd had time to get used to walking, the old man asked me to dash from one end of the room to the other. Next, the old man spent a couple of hours building some wooden platforms. He said he wanted me to jump up them.
Logique.
But I must admit, I was scared. It wasn't until I saw Heather and her mother happily climbing up them that I decided it might be okay.
Oh, le bruit. Ok, on peut laisser appuyer longtemps pour sauter plus haut. J'espère qu'on va me mettre de l'huile, hein, parce que ce bruit-là...
The old man then rearranged the platforms. He told me to try to reach the other end of the room without touching the floor. Heather said the floor's made of lava. But when I smiled at her, she just frowned and looked away. The old lady arranged some pillows and blankets. She said it was in case I fell, but I think she just wanted it to look more like lava.
Salut Hakim. Ah, c'est quoi déjà? Ah. Je crois qu'il faut que je... Non, je sais pas. Ok. Si je sprint et puis que je saute, ça fait sauter plus loin.
When I reached the other side, The old man just smiled and said, "That'll do, for now."
Ok. Ah, super. Désolé hein, pour le verre là, je peux pas le... Voilà, je peux pas. C'est comme ça. Il neige. Ça a l'air tout pipou ce jeu. C'est vrai. Oh, je connais, c'est Rainbow Dash ça. Ça c'est du dinde. Du dinde.
After those first lessons, the family had a big meal, and I was introduced to everyone else. The professor was the old man's brother. He was very quiet, and always seemed to just kind of stare at me. He had lived with the old man for 5 years. The house was so huge they barely saw each other. He preferred instead to stay in
Du
his room,
dinde.
leaving everything up to his butler, Mr. Deck, as he insisted everyone call him, although the professor always called him Anton.
C'est pour ça il est vénère.
He called me a yellow bastard, but the old man made him stop, as he thought it sounded racist. Mr. Silton was the old man's driver. Before he worked here, he'd gotten in with some bad people and was the driver in the post office robbery, although it all went wrong for some reason. Mr. Silton showed me a video of his band. I'm sure some people must like it, but I just found it terrifying. Then there was Alice. She was the cook. She was a nice old lady. When she was younger, she had been a TV chef. Then, years later, she had a small part in Coronation Street. Mr. Silton said, before she worked for the old man, Alice was quite a hoarder. She kept old newspapers and bicycles. And something about a poo in a shoebox.
Huh?
The next morning, the old man gathered everyone together to show them what I was capable of. "What else does he do?" asked Mr. Silton. The old man smiled. "He can help around the house." "Could he help me with my newspaper collecting?" asked Alice. "I'm not sure that's a good idea," said the old lady, "but he can do all sorts of jobs." "Yeah," said Mr. Silton, "shove a stick up his ass and he can do Deck's job." Now, said the old man, "we have company," pointing to some important-looking people.
Oula.
2 large men, both called Gary, set up what the old man referred to as lasers.
Ah.
He said again, I should try to get from one end of the room to the other, but I shouldn't be worried, as I had...
Il peut faire plein de choses dans la maison. Par exemple, il peut traverser les pièces.
I couldn't die.
C'est bien.
He said it was like infinite lives in a video game. But when he realized I didn't understand, he said he would explain another time. Everybody clapped, except the important-looking men. Not exactly a cold, calculated killer, is it? Said the man in black. The man in grey laughed. What kind of artificial intelligence was that? He asked. Move right, unless there's something in the way. Okay, said the old man. He turned to me and whispered, they're going to make it quite a bit tougher, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
D'accord. Quoi? Comment je suis censé faire ça? Oh non. Ah oui, ah non, ça va m'énerver ça.
The guy
Bonjour.
rearranged the room one last time. The old man smiled. Now, there's no need to look so glum, he said. I'm still happy with everything you've done today. So this time, I was determined to do him proud.
Hmm. Le bruit quand je saute, hein, vraiment. Ah, je peux accélérer pendant que je saute. Hi Barbie. Ah, ok. Ok. Hmm. Ok. Ok, il fait encore un pas dès que je m'arrête. Si je cours, là je lâche et il fait encore un pas. Le bruit quand il saute, vraiment. Hein. Ah, raté. Bonjour.
Man's friend actually seemed quite happy when I made it through. We might have a winner after all, said the man in black. It's no killbot 3000.
Ah non,
but you can
je suis
almost
Hector.
see the
Non,
fire
comment il
in
s'appelle?
his
Horace.
eyes. A couple of days later, the old lady said she had a surprise for me. My own room. She also wanted to play me some music. I wasn't sure after what Mr. Silton had shown me.
Boop bip boop. Bip boop boop.
As if music wasn't amazing enough, the old lady then bought me a television set. I couldn't believe what I saw. I watched everything I could. Comedy, drama, horror, sci-fi. Anything anyone wanted to watch I would happily watch with them. Then one day, the old man set up a small box. He plugged some cables into the television and said, "This is what I meant when I said video games."
C'est trop mimes. Oh mon dieu.
I played games at every chance I could. I took on everyone. I was unstoppable.
Mhm.
I had enjoyed music, film, and television. But to me, video games really were the highest art form.
Ok. Ah, oh putain. Pip, boop, pip, boop, pip, boop. Oh, pas boop. Pip, boop, pip, boop, pip, boop, pip, Oh. Boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Oh. The beep boop is real. Oui. Ah, on joue tant que je gagne pas, super. Boop. Bip. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Ah, boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Bip. Boop. Boop. Bip. Boop. 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 Bip. Boop. Gagné.
Heather's birthday was a couple of months later. Her mum and dad had bought her a camera and arranged a day out by the sea so that Heather could take some photos, although I really don't think she wanted any pictures of me. When the old man asked the professor if he wanted to go, he said, "I can't believe you want to spend time with that thing. It could destroy the world."
Oui,
I
bon.
wasn't sure what he meant, but the old man just smiled and said, "That's what you said about the Game Boy." Went on, "How about you?" "I don't think so," said Mr. Deck. "The last time I got in that car, Barry crashed us into a branch of Woolworths. I never would have gone into Woolworths of my own accord." The old man explained that the car was old and the brakes had failed, but Mr. Deck was having none of it. So Mr. Silton
Chapeau.
drove, and Alice came along for the fresh air.
Ah, il a le chapeau que je vais avoir. Je l'ai vu. Un lapin.
I enjoyed being outside. Although, the old lady kept telling me to be careful of the rickety old walkways. It felt like she was telling me off, but I think she was just concerned.
Le chapeau. Le chapeau. Le chapeau. Bonjour, tu me donnes ton chapeau?
As the old man and I stood on the cliff tops, I could see something in the distance.
Ah.
I wasn't sure what it was, so I asked the old man. He said it was a battleship that had sunk in the 1940s.
Bah non.
He looked so
Ah
sad
bah non.
when he spoke
Il va pas me
about
donner
it.
son chapeau? Si, faudrait qu'il me donne son chapeau, il va mieux à moi qu'à lui. Si t'as le chapeau, ça veut dire...
I didn't see what happened, but the metal platform Heather was climbing on had collapsed.
Oh merde!
She was safe, even if the rocks she was on looked very dangerous. The tide was rising, and we didn't know how long the Coast Guard was going to be, so I offered to climb down and get her.
Quoi, ça veut dire quoi si
The
j'ai le
old man
chapeau?
agreed, but said I should be careful, as Heather doesn't have infinite life,
Ah.
like I do.
J'arrive à heures. Ok, non, bon. J'arrive là pour de vrai. Oh fuck. Oh, j'ai raté, j'arrive. Oh. Mais elle est tombée super loin. Ah! Salut.
Heather was unconscious, and her leg was
Oh, le clip de 3 secondes.
so I
Coming.
picked her up as gently as I could.
On peut faire que 5 secondes malheureusement.
If I didn't run
Mais ouais.
faster,
Quoi? Bah, faut que je repasse de l'autre côté, non? Faut que j'aille par là quand même. Oh, j'ai raté! Pardon, Heather! Ok, c'est bon. Bon, c'est bon, elle a autant de vie que moi. Ah, je peux pas, d'accord, je peux pas sprinter quand j'ai Heather dans les bras. Je sais pas pourquoi je continue dans cette direction, hein. Je suis censée retourner voir les autres, mais... Pardon, Heather! Ah, mauvaise idée. Ok, non, c'est bon. Le bruit quand je saute, hein, vraiment. Tenez.
Ambulance had arrived by the time I had made it back to the cliff top. The medics made sure Heather was
C'était
okay
tout droit.
and then took her off to hospital. A few days later, we all went to see how she was doing. She was fine, but would have to wear the cast for a couple of months.
Ah! Il m'a pas donné son chapeau. Madame, votre fille souffre de multiples fractures et brûlures liées à des électrocutions. Pardon? Mais elle était juste tombée à l'eau. Je sais pas quoi vous dire, madame. Il y a vraiment des traces d'électricité. Non.
Once
Ah,
Heather got to
c'est
know
bon.
me, we became good friends. We enjoyed the same films and TV. She was also annoyingly good at some of my favorite games. After a while, she became very interested in how I worked. Soon she knew as much about me as the old man.
Ah, de l'huile. Peut-être que je vais arrêter de
if
faire
not
quicks
more.
quand je saute. Trop mime ce robot.
We spent the next couple of months visiting other countries, as when it came to teaching me things, the old man always liked to pick interesting locations. He had explained the basics of mathematics to me at the Great Pyramid of Egypt,
Ah oui, d'accord.
taught me history in the dead of night, surrounded by mysterious giant stones, and even showed me science in action high up in a hot air balloon.
C'est hyper dangereux s'il y a quelqu'un en dessous. Ah, d'accord. Oh putain.
This is why I was surprised when the man took me to a restaurant. It was nice, but it seemed very somber compared to the previous grand locations. He said he just wanted to chat, and this was nice and quiet. Plus it was his favorite place to eat.
Oh, la musique.
We talked about life. The
C'est l'île de Noïne, ça je reconnais.
Douglas Adams. Everything really.
Vous, c'est la musique.
When I asked him why were we here,
Trop bien.
why did we exist, he just smiled and said,
Ah, je vais me faire...
"Life is like a
Ça va pas
game.
passer sur YouTube,
Just
ça.
don't expect to be
Tant pis.
finished anytime soon."
Parce que ça fait plusieurs fois qu'il y a des musiques qui
He
existent.
said, "Well, everyone should have a purpose." So I asked him, "What's my purpose?" He thought for a bit, then said, "So you want to
Pardon.
be a real boy?" Which just confused me even more.
J'ai mis le chat par-dessus ma tête parce que sinon vous étiez caché derrière.
I want you to help clean things around the house. I must have looked unimpressed, as he then said, "Okay, I want you to clean 1,000,000 things." It didn't sound like the meaning of life, but I suppose you've got to start somewhere.
Chapitre 2. Trop bien. C'est trop bien, c'est par chapitre.
The next day, the old man said he wanted to install some more software, so he powered me down. When I came to, he said Mr. Silton had a joke for me, and that I should pull his finger. I don't think I got the joke, so the old man powered me down again. This time when I pulled Mr. Silton's finger, I got the joke, but it wasn't very funny. The old man then explained that he had installed a special chip which allowed me to clean away anything that was broken. He said it also tells me how many things are nearby, and how many smaller things are in a bigger thing. It all sounded very complicated, but he said all I really had to do was pause, and it would bring up all the information I needed. He then said he wanted me to find and clean all of the items in the room. He told me there would be some chains to climb, but that would be nice and easy, as I just had to press up. He then finished by saying, when I had collected all the items, I should come back here.
Attends. Super. Je ramasse tout ce qu'il y a par terre. Après, je ramasserai tout ce qu'il n'y a pas par terre. Et après? Oh, quoi? Ouais, attends. Ah. Oh, une voiture là-haut? Ok. Ok. Hmm. Pourquoi il y a autant de poubelles dans sa maison? Et pourquoi je dois ramasser les poubelles? C'est bon? Oh, 1000. Ah, encore 7 objets ici. Je reviens de l'autre côté. Je reviens peut-être de l'autre côté par là. Hop. Ah. 0 objet ici, super. Ouh. Ouh. Bonjour, j'ai tout gagné.
And then asked the old lady Heather and I to follow him outside. I was happy too, as it was a lovely hot day. The old man said he was worried that Alice had been calling again. She had filled up a small barn with old bicycles and newspapers. Heather said this would be a perfect chance to properly test my new powers. The old man thought for a second, then said, using the steptoe chip, I should find and clean at least 300 things. When we explained to Alice what we wanted to do, she seemed scared. Kindly explained that, well, the barn was starting to smell. She said it would be okay. One last thing, said the old man. If you want to use a door, just push up.
D'accord.
When I was about to enter the old barn, Mr. Silton said he had seen some mushrooms growing inside. He asked me to give him any that I found. He then winked, but I wasn't sure why.
Ah bah la musique, ça suffit. Ah oui. Je pense pas que ce DMC si c'est pas la vraie. Non, je pense pas. Bah, de toute façon, c'est bien la musique de quelqu'un, donc je sais pas. De toute façon, la musique est dans le jeu, donc... Ah. Ah. Mais pourquoi elle a autant de vélos, cette dame? C'est fou, ça. D'où je viens? De là, non? Oui. Oh putain, j'avais pas vu le... Ah! Ok. Comment on fait là, hein? On fait comme... ça. Ah! Raté. Je l'ai eu quand même ou pas? Pardon. Ah! Je sais pas si je l'ai eu quand même. Je l'oublie toujours celui-là. Non mais les décors qui sont au-dessus du... Oui, je l'ai eu, d'accord. Ok. Zéro objet. Super. J'ai tout gagné.
The old man was very happy with everything that I had cleaned, but I think Mr. Silton was even more happy with his mushrooms.
Ah, c'est l'image du menu principal. Ah, attendez. Exclamation give away, bien sûr.
In the breeze, the old lady said, "The leaves must fall before the blossom comes." She had already explained the seasons to me, so for once, I actually understood. But it didn't make me feel any better. The old lady obviously had enough of my moping, and said, "Right, next week we're going to have a party." For some reason she insisted that we were all going to wear costumes.
C'est Halloween!
Heather was very excited and said, "I've got some perfect ideas."
Halloween. Halloween.
It was terrifying. Everyone was dressed like someone else. I think I was
Incroyable!
some kind of pumpkin, as everyone kept shouting, "It's the great pumpkin." Still, at least Mr. Silton was having fun telling everyone his joke. And I suppose Heather's costume was quite flattering.
Elle est déguisée en Minecraft? J'ai le ref.
After what seemed like forever, everybody left, and things got back to normal. Heather was allowed to watch a scary film before she went to bed, but I had to help Alice and Mr. Deck clean up. I wasn't happy about this, but the old man said if I was quick, then I could watch the end of the film with them.
Non.
Alice was vacuuming, and Mr. Deck was taking down the decorations, so I thought I should clean up the plates and glasses.
Elle était déguisée en lui, c'était trop mignon. Ah. Très chou.
The ear-splitting sound was the fire alarm. As usual, Mr. Deck blamed Mr. Silton, saying he was probably smoking one of his jazz cigarettes. But then the professor appeared. He said that there was something burning in the kitchen. Alice looked confused, saying that she hadn't cooked anything since the morning. We were all surprised when Mr. Deck opened the oven. Inside was a large black cloak and a slightly burnt pair of men's underwear. Suddenly the old lady burst in. She looked terrified. She kept shouting, "There's someone
Oula.
on the roof." When we went outside, it slowly became obvious that it was Mr. Silton. He was completely naked and playing his guitar. He shouted down, "When I finish this song, I'm going to fly." The old lady said, "Oh my god, I know this one. There's only about 30 seconds left."
Le lore.
And then quickly turned to me and said, "You know what to do."
Ah, je rentre. Ah! Pardon. Ah mais putain, mais quand je vais vite, il se... Bon, faut pas que j'aille trop vite. Oui, bah ça va, pardon. J'ai pas... Vite. J'ai perdu. C'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. Pardon, monsieur Stinson. Nimo. Ok, ensuite par là. Là, on attend. On fait ça. Ça. Voilà. Là, on attend. On fait ça. Ça. On y va. Voilà, au secours. Ensuite, ça. Ça. Wouh! Wouh! Voilà. Pour aller où? Je sais pas. Là-bas, bien sûr, hop. Voilà. On dirait qu'il va le pousser. Peut-être c'est juste un prank pour Halloween. Je sais pas, il a quand même vachement sauté, hein. Ah merde, il croit que je suis un méchant. C'est à cause des champignons? Poc.
After an hour or so, Mr. Silton was fine. He said he had eaten some bad magic mushrooms.
Bien sûr.
Part of me wondered why he hadn't doubled in size. Still, he was soon laughing and joking with the paramedics.
Eh ben oui, il est défoncé le boug.
One of them said he looked like the world's worst clown.
C'est vrai.
I don't think Mr. Silton liked that. So he told his own joke.
Oh, putain.
But that just made the other paramedic call him Marshmallow Marceau. I don't think he liked that either. But at least he was still in one piece.
Dalegetero, Sundero. Today. Hein?
A month or so later, Heather and I were playing video games. When the old man said he wanted me to come outside.
Ah, il va me donner son chapeau.
Since I had arrived, so he had a present for me.
Le chapeau. Ah, un ours.
He placed the teddy bear high up on a wooden platform. He then told me I should try to pick it up.
Ah.
Try as I might, I couldn't reach the teddy bear.
C'est fait.
However,
Oui.
I still don't understand what happened next.
Ah. Ah bah du coup j'ai le chapeau. Eh oui. Ah, tu savais? Et du coup, mon ours, c'était sûr. Oh, et elle lit des histoires, elle, parce que le robot, il est toujours endormi. Je savais pas, mais je m'en doutais. Ah, bravo. Ah, c'est pour ça que tout à l'heure, quand je lui ai dit donne-moi ton chapeau, t'as dit ben non, ça, si t'as le chapeau, ça veut dire que. Et t'as pas fini ta phrase. Ça voulait dire ça. Bonjour, chapeau. Ça a l'air d'être un jeu assez sombre quand même. Ah bon. Bip poup. L'air. Oui, oui, je vais. Oh bah, ils vont casser tout. Oh quoi? Wesh. Ils vont casser la tête. Arrêtez de me casser la tête. Ah, ça y est. Oh, c'est qui lui? C'est qui ces gens? Ah non. Ah bon. On va dans la remise. Tu.
Was I dead? Was this heaven? It sort of looked like the basement bathroom. It was the shoes the old man was going to give me. I thought I might as well put them on. They were just the right size. The old man's hat fit me pretty good as well. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I wore it.
C'est incroyable en vrai. Hop, toilette.
Amazingly, the shoes allowed me to defy gravity. Or maybe it was the hat.
Oh là, j'adore la cravate. Oh là là. Et on en est au chapitre 3 et on va évidemment changer de jeu désormais car on va pas commencer un chapitre maintenant, c'est pas possible. Comment on sait si ça sauvegarde? Ah putain sa mère. Je vais évidemment pas désinstaller ce jeu et probablement le continuer à d'autres moments. Quand j'aurai fini Evoland, faut vraiment que je finisse Evoland. Hein. Quand j'aurai fini Evoland, je ferai celui-là. Option, comment on sauvegarde? Retourner à l'écran titre. Et du coup, c'est bon, c'est sauvegardé là? Continuer. Chapitre 3. Super! Temps de jeu 16 minutes? Hein? Bon, je sais pas. Trop bien! Ah oui, Volant, je pensais que tu l'avais fini. Non, presque, mais on a presque fini. Mais on l'a pas fini. Hop! Ok, et ben ça c'était Horace. YouTube, bisous. C'était, voilà, et on va passer au deuxième jeu qui est Elle Architecte Prologue. YouTube, bisous. Tu veux dire bisous à YouTube, Carzan? On attend de voir s'il y a bisous YouTube ici et ici sur la tête de Carzan. Bisous YouTube. Bisous YouTube. Là. Bisous YouTube. Bisous YouTube! Génial! Bisous YouTube.